Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Biomolecules, and in this video we will cover part 1. So this is a new chapter that we are beginning. So let's go with the first question here. This question was asked in the year 2007. Read it here. About 98% of the mass of every living organism is composed of just 6 elements, including carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen and dash. Okay. Fine. Now we have to find the remaining 2 elements. They have clearly told it is totally 6 elements. Now we have to find the remaining 2 elements. This is an easy question actually. See, our body requires an ample amount of calcium and phosphorus. Why do we need calcium and phosphorus? Sulfur is not needed for our body. Likewise, magnesium also is not needed for our body. Calcium and phosphorus is very essential. Body needs phosphorus to build and repair the bones and teeth. Why do you need it? To repair the bones and the teeth. And calcium is important on blood clotting, muscle contraction and strengthening of bones. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option C. So you have to remember phosphorus is for bones and teeth. Okay, and calcium, if you see, it is for muscle, then you need for blood clotting, then apart from that you also need for bones. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option C. Now let's move to the next question here. Read this question here, which was asked in the year 2005. Enzymes, vitamins and hormones can be classified into a single category of biological chemicals because all of these help in what? So what is the common function among them? Okay, the major life processes are controlled by the enzymes. You know very well, enzymes have a other name. The other name is also called as they are also called as biocatalyst. What does a catalyst do? A catalyst will help in speeding up any reaction. Okay. Now, it will not interfere with the reaction, but it will help the reaction to get completed faster or easier. So enzymes, vitamins and hormones can be classified into a single category of biological chemicals because all of these help in regulating metabolism. Vitamins are required in limited amounts by organisms for the regulation of metabolism and growth. And hormones are required as an organic compound, and it is produced by certain organs in small quantities which help in physiological and other metabolic activities. Therefore, what do? They help in regulating the metabolism. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option A. Next question was asked same year. We have 2005 here. Carbohydrates, the most abundant biomolecules on earth, are produced by dash. Okay. So who actually gives the major production? Right, we are talking about the major or abundant production. We all know, so what are biomolecules first? What all comes under biomolecules? Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, all these are carbohydrates. All these are biomolecules. Okay, now some bacteria such as Rhodosudomonas, algae and green plants, okay, these cells produce carbohydrates. So what all helps in the production of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates is the complex form. Okay, carbohydrates are in the complex form. Our body will take, or we intake in the form of carbohydrates, which will later be converted into a simpler form, which is in the form of sugars. So what are sugars? What all comes under it? You have glucose, then you have fructose, then you have maltose. So these are after conversion. Okay, the body will not see whatever we eat gets digested. What do you mean that digestion process? The body is converting the materials, the food that we have intaken, into a simpler form so that the body can absorb it in the form of nutrients, and it is transported to the whole system of the body, which helps in the body's survival and it gives us energy. So that is what you call it as metabolism. Now this carbohydrate, the most abundant biomolecule on earth, are produced by some bacteria, algae and green plants. Exclusively it is Rhodopseudomonas from the bacteria group. Therefore the correct answer is option A. Now let's move to the next question here. This question was asked in the year 2001. Most abundant organic compound on earth. I think this is an easy question for you. Okay, you have totally 4 options: proteins, cellulose, steroids and lipids. Obviously it is not steroids because you don't have it in that much amount. Now out of the 4 options given here, I've already explained what is carbohydrates, what is protein, what is lipid. See, proteins, lipids, if you see, their concentration will be less. Why? Because they are not associated with the plants, right? They are asking the most abundant organic compound on earth. So as you all know, plants, trees, from the plant kingdom we have a major contribution. Therefore the correct answer is cellulose. Cellulose is the most abundant organic compound, and cellulose, if you see, it is a polysaccharide. Poly means many. So it's a polysaccharide and a biopolymer which is found on earth. See, protein, lipids, steroids are sometimes artificially also produced, but they are asking the most abundant organic, means natural. Proteins and lipids are associated with eukaryotic organisms, but this from the plant kingdom has a major contribution towards earth. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option B, cellulose. Okay, so you have the plant cellulose here. Cells, the cell wall of the plant will have cellulose fibers. The fibers can be micro, macro, it depends, right? Cellulose is the one which makes up the cell wall of a plant, and it plays a very vital role in maintaining the survival of the plant. It will maintain, it has the stability to withstand any condition. Okay, the correct answer is option B. Now next question here. This question was asked in the year 1996. Most diverse macromolecules found in the cell, both physically and chemically. What is it? Most diverse macromolecule. So it should either be out of the 4 options, because all the 4 options are macromolecules. Okay, so already I explained in the earlier question what is carbohydrates. Now what are lipids? The oil, the fats, it can be rich in oil or butter, whatever. Major contribution is from the oil. So lipids, they cannot be absorbed by the body as such, so it will be converted into fatty acids, which will be absorbed by the body, and the main property of lipid is insulation property. It actually produces heat, which helps the body to maintain the temperature. Apart from that, you have nucleic acids and proteins, but most diverse macromolecules of all the 4, if you see, it is proteins. Proteins are polymers of amino acid. After conversion, or after it gets converted into a simpler compound, it will be converted into amino acid, the simpler form of protein. There are only about 20 amino acids which can be arranged in different orders in the polypeptide chain to form an array of proteins. So the most diverse macromolecules found on earth, both physically and chemically, are proteins, and proteins are essential. Why? Because if you see, they are not only associated with your body, but they are also associated with your hereditary material, right? You have amino acid sequence in it. Okay, therefore the correct answer to this question is option A, proteins. Now you have a picture which shows the sources of protein that we obtain from different food, right? So that is a picture which shows you. Next question here. This question asked in the year 1994. The 4 elements making 99% of living system is dash. Okay, we all know carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen is very important, right? Any system, if you see, even if you take the periodic table in chemistry, you would have seen that carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen plays a very major role, and they are highly reactive elements which are ready to mingle with any source to form different elements. Like if you see, hydrogen and water mingle to form water, hydrogen and oxygen which will mingle to form water, H2O. So the 4 elements making 99% of the living system is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Okay, they are so named because they constitute about 99%. We early saw, see, in the earlier question, in the first question, we saw what are the 6 elements which contribute for a living organism. We saw phosphorus and calcium, which also makes up the system. But apart from that, out of the 6, which are 4, you have 4 which are very, very important for any living organism. If you see, it is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. They constitute the living organism, and it plays a very major role also there. Okay, thereby the correct answer to this question is option C. Now you have a picture which represents the living system. You find different forms of living system right from the tiniest to the largest. So here, if you see, every living organism requires these 4 constituents, and this makes up everything in their body. Okay, next question. This question in the year 1992. Living cell contains 60 to 75% water. Water present in the human body is what? I think this is a very easy question for you. See, when we say water, it is the most, or you can say it's the magical thing that God created for us. Very unique, and it is able to cure any number of diseases. Water is actually a medicine, right? People, those who have any kind of disease or disorder, the first thing that they tell you is drink a lot of water. Why do they say that? Because when you drink lots of water, your body is cleansed. Your body is cleansed. How? It will remove the impurities. It flushes out. When you take bath, your body's impurities get washed off with the help of water. Likewise, when you intake water, your impurities from the body is also washed off with water. So see the magical thing present in water. So the living cell contains 60 to 75% of water. Now we are talking about human body here. Water is the most abundant compound and the majority of cells. About 60 to 75%. Okay, 65 to 70%. A living cell has 60 to 75, but human body has 65 to 70% of water. Okay, major portion of water found in human body will occur in the cells as intracellular water. See, water is very essential for any living organism, especially for human. The highest range of living organism depends highly on water. The water intake has to be minimum at least 2 to 3 liters every day to maintain or to sustain a healthy life. Therefore, you can understand how important water is. Human body constitutes about 65 to 70% of water. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Next question here. This question in the year 2016, the 2 polypeptides of human insulin are linked together. Okay, the 2 polypeptide of insulin are linked together with the help of this. Now, what do you mean by insulin? Have you ever thought what is insulin? What is the property of insulin? See, we all have a production of insulin in our body, right? We all have the production of insulin in our body, and it is very essential also. See, we all intake different forms of sugars. We intake a lot of food substances which is constituent and in a mixture of many different compounds. You have a mixture of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and sometimes we even happen to take sugars. Now the body has to maintain that, right? So as we already said, it is important for our body to secrete hormones. Okay, now insulin can be defined to be very important, and it's a peptide hormone, okay, produced by the, so where does it get produced? It is produced by the beta cells of the pancreatic islets. It is considered to be the main anabolic hormone of the body, which will sustain and help you to maintain your sugar level in your body. That they call it as blood sugar level. Imagine your blood sugar level increases. It means you have diabetes. It means you have a problem. There's no proper production of insulin. So when this pancreatic islets go malfunctioning, then you will have the problem in production of insulin, which will thereby end you in diabetes. So the two polypeptide chains, okay, two polypeptide chains of human insulin are linked together with the help of, so you have a diagram here below below. What does the diagram tell you? What diagram it is, first of all? Okay, it is showing the linkage. The correct answer to this question is option D, disulfide bridges. Insulin is a hormone which is consisting of two polypeptide chains. Each chain is composed of a specific sequence of amino acid residues connected by peptide bonds. In humans, you already have 21 amino acids and the chain B has 30. Okay, chain A will have 21 and chain B will have 30. Post-translational modifications result in the connection of these two chains, what you call it as disulfide bridges. Since there is presence of two sulfide bridges, you call it as together disulfide bridge. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option D. Next question. Now this question, the amino acid tryptophan is a precursor for the synthesis of dash. Now what are the different amino acids that you know? You have thyroxine, you have tryptophan, you have a different range of amino acids. You have more than 20 also. Now tryptophan is a precursor of neurotransmitter. Okay, it's a precursor of neurotransmitter. What does neurotransmitter tell you? Something associated with your nerves. Tryptophan is a precursor of neurotransmitters called serotonin and melatonin. Okay, so the amino acid tryptophan is a precursor for the synthesis of melatonin and serotonin. Apart from that, thyroxine, which is produced by the follicular cells of thyroid gland. So thyroxine, it is associated with the thyroid gland. Okay, then other than that, it is produced as a precursor for thyroglobulin. Estrogen, you know, it is a sex hormone which is present in the female. Estrogen and progesterone will be produced during your I'm talking about the cell cycle, reproductive cell cycle. Okay, estrogen is biosynthesized from progesterone in two steps from cholesterol via intermediate. Okay, cortisol is one of the several end products of the process called as steroidogenesis. Cortisol is produced in the adrenal cortex of the kidney. So I have told you what all the four options I have explained to you. Thyroxine is produced when, estrogen, progesterone are produced when. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option A, melatonin and serotonin. Okay, next question here was asked in the year 2013. The figure shows a hypothetical tetrapeptide. Okay, so for that you should see the figure, right? So we have a figure, right? It shows a hypothetical tetrapeptide portion of a protein with parts labeled A to D. You have A to D, right? Which one of the following option is correct? So I have given the solution with this answer, so it will be easy for you to identify. You have a figure which shows marked from A to D. So here they are asking which one of the following option is correct. Okay, so glutamic acid and aspartic acid are acidic amino acids with two carboxylic groups and one amino group is what they have given here. So out of the four options, what do you think will be the right one? D is the right one. D is the acidic amino acid glutamic acid. Otherwise A, B and C are wrong. Therefore the correct answer is option D. Next question. This question in the year 2012, which one is the most abundant protein in the animal world? You're not asking in humans, you're asking in animal world. So this is a very easy question for you to answer. When we talk about protein, okay, and when we talk about the animal world, now you have hemoglobin. Insulin is a hormone, and hemoglobin, it is associated with the blood, and globin is a protein. Heme is the iron content and globin is a protein content which is present and associated with blood. Other than that, you have trypsin and collagen. The correct answer is collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the animal world, especially it is in the form of ribose biphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, and is the most abundant protein in plants, but it is also found in the whole biosphere. So which is most abundant out of all? If you see, it is collagen. You have the structure of collagen. See, collagen not only marks in animal world, but for humans as well, it plays a major role. Okay, You must have seen many products coming out from collagen, made out of collagen. So the main function of collagen is to maintain the elasticity, okay, elasticity of the cell. When you use such products, your skin gets firm and nice. They found it will not be saggy. For humans, many products come with collagen so that it maintains the stability of the skin and you look prettier. Apart from that, collagen maintains the body stability. Okay, your skin highly needs collagen. So the most abundant protein in the animal world, it's not just for animal world, in humans also this plays a major role. The correct answer is option C, collagen. Okay, next question here. Now read this question here. Which one of the following, that is which one out of A to D, you're again having four diagrams here. You have four molecular formula A to D, right? Here you have to correctly represent the structural formula of a basic amino acid. I think this is an easy question for you. When you talk about the basic amino acid, which one will be the right one? Obviously it is D. It is the structural formula of acid lysine. Lysine is an amino acid and D represents correctly lysine. Therefore the correct answer is option B, which represents D. Lysine is also one of major amino acid and it has a lot of properties associated with the body, and it seeks to maintain the stability and the rigidity of a cell. Okay, next question here, asked in the year 2012, which one of the following biomolecules is correctly characterized? Okay, we'll go one option by option. The first option is lecithin, a phosphorylated glyceraldehyde which is found, glyceride which is found in cell membrane. Lactic acid, an unsaturated fatty acid. Then you have adenosleic acid which is found in the adenosine with glucose phosphate molecule. Then you have alanine amino acid which contains an amino group and an acidic group anywhere in the molecule. Now the correct answer is option A. Okay, now apart from that you have a big explanation to your right side. Now we'll go with that. Palmitic acid is one of the most common and saturated fatty acid. So you can see here, saturated fatty acid that is found in animals and in plants. So how many carbon atoms it will have? It will include 16. Okay, now we talk about adenyl acid. It is a nucleotide consisting of adenine, ribose and deoxyribose and a phosphate group. It is a constituent of DNA or it can be RNA, either of these. It is also called as adenosine monophosphate. See, what is the role of amino acid? That you should know, right? I simply keep telling you amino acid, amino acid, amino acid. Now what is this amino acid? The conversion of protein into a simpler form will give you amino acids. Amino acids are organic compounds that contain amine and a carboxylic functional group along with a side chain specific to each amino acid. The key element of amino acid are what all will come under it. It will have carbon, it will have hydrogen, it will have oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes you also find other elements in trace amount. The correct answer to this question is option A, lecithin. Here it's a phosphorylated glyceride found in the cell membrane. That is the correct one here. Next question here, which was asked in the year 2005. Okay, which one of the following is the simplest amino acid here? Okay, I've given you a structure here. The general structure of an amino acid is this. So you have it here. It's here. So this is the basic or the general structure of an amino acid. R represents the alkyl or the aryl group in glycine, and R is also a hydrogen atom. So you have here, right? It can be an alkyl group or an aryl group. Therefore, glycine is the simplest amino acid. So you have the structure of all the four here: glycine, alanine, tyrosine, and asparagine. Now, out of all the four structures, which looks very simple to you, it is glycine. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option C, glycine. Okay, next question. Collagen is dash. I've almost told you the answer for this, but before going into the solution, tell me what is collagen. I gave you a brief or a very a common introduction about collagen. It is plays a major role of protein in animal world. Apart from that, you also say that it plays a major role in the human world. Collagen is the main structural protein which is present in the extracellular matrix. You always have to remember that. It is present in the extracellular matrix. Okay. Now, apart from that, what all you can say? Where it is present in the extracellular matrix. Okay, don't forget that it is present in the extracellular matrix. Collagen is the major fibrous protein of connective tissue occurring as white fibers which is produced from the fibroblast. Apart from that, you can also say it helps as a major role or major part in connecting tissues. Okay, connective tissues, it plays a major role. As a main component of connective tissue, it is the most abundant proteins in mammals, and it makes up to 25% to 35%, it seems. So see how important it is. So collagen is therefore a fibrous protein. The correct answer is option A. So here you have 7 ways collagen can boost your health. To your right side you can see a table, right? Now if you see the picture there, the first thing, it eases pain related to joints, beneficial for skin health. That's what I told you. You have many products now coming in the market so that it maintains your elasticity. Then beneficial for leaky gut syndrome, good for hair, nails and teeth, beneficial for heart health, detoxifies your liver, increases the muscular mass and energy levels. As it is related with connective tissues, it sees to that your body has good energy in your joints, muscles and etc. Therefore the correct answer is option A. Okay, so with this we complete part 1 biomolecules. Okay, let's meet in the next video. Thank you.